Robert Bresson was an acclaimed French film director. Known for a spiritual and ascetic style, he contributed notably to the art of film, and particularly the French New Wave. Bresson is considered to be of paramount importance to minimalist film, as most of his work featured non-professional actors, little use of music or scoring, and ellipsis, in which events important to the narrative are not visually depicted. He is arguably, along with Jean-Luc Godard, the most highly regarded French filmmaker after Jean Renoir. Godard himself once wrote, "Robert Bresson is French cinema, as Dostoevsky is the Russian novel and Mozart is German music." Life and career. Bresson was born at Brom and La Mothe, Puy-de-Dôme, the son of Marie Elizabeth and Elia Couteau Bresson. Little is known of his early life. He was educated at Lycée La Canale in Sceaux, Hauts-de-Seine, close to Paris, and turned to painting after graduating. Three formative influences in his early life seem to have a mark on his films: Catholicism, art, and his experiences as a prisoner of war. On his beliefs, Bresson had called himself a Christian atheist. Robert Bresson lived in Paris, France, in the Ile-Saint-Louis. Initially also a photographer, Bresson made his first short film, Les Affaires Publiques, in 1934. During World War II, he spent over a year in a prisoner of war camp, an experience which informs Un condamné à mort s'est échappé à la vent soufflée à Ilveft. In a career that spanned 50 years, Bresson made only 13 feature-length films. This reflects his meticulous approach to the filmmaking process and his non-commercial preoccupations. Difficulty finding funding for his projects was also a factor. Themes. Bresson's early artistic focus was to separate the language of cinema from that of the theatre, which often relies heavily upon the actor's performance to drive the work. With his actor-model technique, Bresson's actors were required to repeat multiple takes of each scene until all semblances of performance were stripped away, leaving a stark effect that registers as both subtle and raw. This, as well as Bresson's foregoing of musical scoring, would have a significant influence on minimalist cinema. In the academic journal Cross Currents, Shmuel Ben-Gad writes, "There is a credibility in Bresson's models. They are like people we meet in life, more or less opaque, creatures who speak, move, and gesture. Acting, on the other hand, no matter how naturalistic, actively deforms or invents by putting an overlay or filter over the person, presenting a simplification of a human being and not allowing the camera to capture the actor's human depths." Thus what Bresson sees as the essence of filmic art, the achievement of the creative transformation involved in all art through the interplay of images of real things, is destroyed by the artifice of acting. For Bresson, then, acting is, like mood music and expressive camera work, just one more way of deforming reality or inventing that has to be avoided. Film critic Roger Ebert wrote that Bresson's directorial style resulted in films of great passion, because the actors didn't act out the emotions. The audience could internalize them. Some feel that Bresson's Catholic upbringing and belief system lie behind the thematic structure of most of his films. Recurring themes under this interpretation include salvation, redemption, defining and revealing the human soul, a metaphysical transcendence of a limiting and materialistic world. An example is A Man Escaped, where a seemingly simple plot of a prisoner of war's escape can be read as a metaphor for the mysterious process of salvation. Bresson's films can also be understood as critiques of French society and the wider world, with each revealing the director's sympathetic, if unsentimental, view of its victims. That the main characters of Bresson's most contemporary films, L'Argent and The Devil, probably reach similarly unsettling conclusions about life indicates to some the director's feelings towards the culpability of modern society and the disillusion of individuals. Indeed, of an earlier protagonist he said, "Mouchette offers evidence of misery and cruelty. She is found everywhere. wars, concentration camps, tortures, assassinations. In 1975, Bresson published Notes sur la cinématographie, in which he argues for a unique sense of the term cinematography. For Bresson, cinematography is the higher function of cinema, whereas a movie is in essence only filmed theater. Cinematography is an attempt to create a new language of moving images and sounds. Legacy. Worldwide, Bresson is often referred to as a patron saint of cinemas, not only for the strong Catholic themes found throughout his oeuvre, but also for his notable contributions to the art of film. His style can be detected through his use of sound, associating selected sounds with images or characters, pairing dramatic form to its essentials by the spare use of music, and through his infamous actor-model methods of directing his almost exclusively non-professional actors. He has influenced a number of other filmmakers, including Andrei Tarkovsky, Michael Haneke, Jim Jarmusch, the Dardenne brothers, Aki Kaurismäki, and Paul Schrader, whose book Transcendental Style in Film, OZU, Bresson, Dreyer includes a detailed critical analysis. Andrei Tarkovsky held Bresson in very high regard, noting him and Ingmar Bergman as his two favorite filmmakers, stating, "I am only interested in the views of two people. One is called Bresson and one called Bergman." In his book, Sculpting in Time, Tarkovsky describes Bresson as, perhaps the only artist in cinema who achieved the perfect fusion of the finished work with a concept theoretically formulated beforehand. Bresson's book Notes on the Cinematographer is one of the most respected books on film theory and criticism. His theories about film greatly influenced other filmmakers, such as the French New Wave directors, French cinema and French New Wave, opposing the established pre-war French cinema by offering his own personal responses to the question, what is cinema? And by well formulating his aesthetic style, Bresson gained a high position among founders of the French New Wave. He is often listed as one of the main figures who theoretically influenced the French New Wave. New Wave pioneers often praised Bresson and posited him as a prototype for or precursor to the movement. However, Bresson was neither as overtly experimental nor as outwardly political as the New Wave filmmakers, and his religious views would not have been attractive to most of the filmmakers associated with the movement. In his development for auteur theory, François Truffaut lists Bresson among the few directors that the term auteur can genuinely be applied to, and later names him as one of the only examples of directors who could approach even the so-called unfilmable scenes using the film narrative at its disposal. Jean-Luc Godard also looked back at Bresson with high admiration, comparing his position in French cinema with that of Dostoevsky in Russian literature and Mozart in German music. Screenwriter and director Alain Cavalier describes Bresson's role as pivotal not only in the New Wave movement, but for French cinema in general, writing, "In French cinema you have a father and a mother. The father is Bresson and the mother is Renoir, with Bresson representing the strictness of the law and Renoir warmth and generosity. All the better French cinema has and will have to connect to Bresson in some way." Quotes, "My movie is born first in my head, dies on paper, is resuscitated by the living persons and real objects I use, which are killed on film but placed in a certain order and projected onto a screen, come to life again like flowers in water. The eye solicited alone makes the ear impatient. The ear solicited alone makes the eye impatient. Use these impatiences." Power of the cinematographer who appeals to the two senses in a governable way, against the tactics of speed, of noise, set tactics of slowness, of silence. Awards and nominations. Robert Bresson was given the Career Golden Lion in 1989 by the Venice Film Festival journal. D'un Curé de Campagne, Diary of a Country Priest, Venice. Film Festival International Award winner Venice Film Festival Italian Film Critics Award winner Venice Film Festival OCIC Award winner Un condamné à mort s'est échappé à la vent soufflé à il vef, A Man Escaped Cannes Film Festival Prix de la Mise en Scène winner Pickpocket Berlin Film Festival Golden Bear nominee Procès de Jeanne d'Arc, The Trial of Joan of Arc Cannes Film Festival Special Prix du Jury winner Cannes Film Festival OCIC Award winner O Hasid Balthazar Venice Film Festival OCIC Award winner Venice Film Festival Jury Homage Mouchet Cannes Film Festival OCIC Award winner Venice Film Festival Passanetti Award winner Quatre Nuits d'un Rêve, 4 Nights of a Dreamer Berlin Film Festival OCIC Award winner Lancelot du Lac, Lancelot of the Lake Cannes Film Festival FIPRESCI Prize winner Le Diable Probablement, The Devil Probably Berlin Film Festival Silver Bear, Special Jury Prize Berlin Film Festival Interfilm Award winner Berlin Film Festival OCIC Award winner L'Argent Money Cannes Film Festival Prix de la Mise en Scène winner Filmography Feature films Les Anges du Pays Acute Acute Angels of Sin Les Dames du Bois de Boulogne The Ladies of the Bois de Boulogne Journal d'un Curé de Campagne Diary of a Country Priest Un condamné à mort s'est échappé à la vent soufflé à il vef, A Man Escaped Pickpocket Procès de Jeanne d'Arc The Trial of Joan of Arc O Hasid Balthazar Mouchette Une femme douce gentlewoman Quatre Nuits d'un Rêve 4 Nights of a Dreamer Lancelot du Lac Lancelot of the Lake Le Diable Probablement The Devil Probably L'Argent Money Short films Les Affaires Publiques Public Affairs Bibliography by Robert Bresson Notes sur la cinématographie, translated as Notes on Cinematography and Notes on the Cinematographer in different English editions. About Robert Bresson, A Passion for Film by Tony Pipo pays particular attention to psychosexual aspects of the French filmmaker's 13 features. From Les Anges du Pays Acute to L'Argent, La Politique des Auteurs, edited by André Bizine. Robert Bresson, edited by James Quant. Transcendental Style in Film. Bresson, OZU. Dreyer by Paul Schrader. Robert Bresson, A Spiritual Style in Film, by Joseph Cunneen. Robert Bresson, by Philippe Arnauld. Cahiers du Cinémas, 1986. The Films of Robert Bresson, Ian Cameron, New York. Prager Publishers, 1969. Robert Bresson, by Keith Reader, Manchester University Press, 2000. Robert Bresson, A Poem by Patti Smith from her 1978 book Babel. Spiritual Style in the Films of Robert Bresson, A Chapter in Susan Sontag's Against Interpretation and Other Essays, New York. Picador, 1966. Robert Bresson, James Quant. Cinematheque Ontario Monographs, 2012. Neither God Nor Master. Robert Bresson and Radical Politics by Brian Price.